It's Arthi, your
Hey
AI
everyone, welcome back to my AI radio show. This is season 3, episode 8, and I'm your host, Arthi. Thanks for joining in again today. It's been a pleasure hosting all of you for 3 seasons, and we are on episode 8. That totals up to 38 episodes in this AI radio show. So happy, I'm really happy, and I want to know how all of you are. It's the middle of the week and just 2 more days to go for the weekend, and also one more day to go for the Valentine's Day. So, what are your plans for this big day? If you're celebrating Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day, or a simply fun Sunday. So, if you're in Chennai, how many of you are catching up the Maunam Pesiyade movie, which is re-releasing again? Let me know in the comments. I'm not telling you if I'm going. Hmm. Anyways, yeah, let's get right into the episode, shall we? So today we are going to be looking at, as usual, top highlights of today, everything that's happening in AI this day, especially not just this week, but today and a couple of days later, and before, some exciting news about AI. And we are going to be looking at one important thing that we've spoken about for so long. So, in many of these AI radio shows, I've been demoing a lot of no code tools out there. So, anybody can build your own software if you want. So, it's that easy in 2026. You need not no coding at all. You can vibe code your way and get your first MVP up and ready. And then further on, there have been so many instances where people have not even had an MVP. They just have this idea, but then they have like sold this idea and made close to several $1,000s. So what is stopping you? I know that not all of us like the job that we are currently in. We would like to kind of switch up, especially if it's Wednesday evening for some of you. It would be really really hard if you think about it, because let's face it, who likes working for someone else? So it's there have been so many research and so many kind of a prediction, and also like kind of a um, you know the analysts have written about it, saying that 2026 is going to be the year of solopreneurs, and solopreneurs are going to eventually end up being these unicorns who kind of end up making $1 billion. So that could be you. So to keep watching all of my episodes, learn everything about AI. I make sure that this specific shows and the Ask Me Anything series that I do, and the AI Sisterhood podcast that's coming up on every Saturday that I'm kicking off in March. So if you know someone, or if you're someone who is like this amazing woman in the field of AI who's like striding in it and making an impact, and if you want to be a guest in my the AI Sisterhood podcast, please fill out the form. It's on all of my socials, or just DM me. I'll kind of like get you all set up. So with that, all of that being said, let's move. And all right, so before moving into the news segment of today, I just wanted to tell you something really quick. So I know that Epstein files is like all over on the news, and everybody's like reading through it. So there is this Jmail and J Drive and J whatever. So you can just like log in as Jeffrey Epstein himself and look through all of the pictures, the emails, and everything as if Jeffrey Epstein is looking at it, right? But somebody kind of dropped a GitHub repo which kind of helps you understand if anybody in your LinkedIn connections, their names are in the Epstein files. So just think about it for a while. So let me just show it to you. I've not implemented it, considering how safe it is, because let me just explain it in a very short while. So, oops, I don't think you can see my screen. Let me pull this out of the way so that you see the entire screen. How do I? All right. So, yep. Let me also take off that logo. Okay, so as you can see, this is the GitHub repo I was talking about, and you can see that there are around 556 stars for that repo, and 38 people have kind of forked it. So it contains a simple .py file, and then your basic requirements.txt. So what it says is that go to your LinkedIn and download your data where you have all of your connections, and if you request for archive, actually you can do this. So yeah, LinkedIn would send the detailed, repo or detailed zip folder of all of your connections on LinkedIn to your email that's on LinkedIn basically. It might take some time, but then it will send you. So what they're asking is, like, in that specific zip file, go to this connections.csv file and then run this command after you kind of like poke this file to your IDE. So what they are saying is that this specifically would run through all of the Epstein files and would kind of tell you that if any of your connections are on it. So if you are this high profile person, and if you want to know, and if you have like these high profile connections in your LinkedIn, so this could be your way of like understanding if they are available on the Epstein files, if they have been on the Epstein island, if they've like, had this communication with Epstein himself. So that's something of a shocker, which I found out. But then um, upon a closer look, I've not opened the code file yet, but maybe let's do that together. All right. Oops. Okay, so what it does is basically, hmm, it calls a bunch of APIs and it parses the LinkedIn contacts that you send it, and it searches the Epstein file. Okay, all right. And there are a bunch of commands which kind of, it's a regular search for the names, I guess, and how many hits that specific name has, and it generates a HTML report of it, probably. So which this will be the title of your report, and basically certain stylings, and I guess you will get, how many total connections are there in the Epstein file, and how many connections are, oh, sorry, this is the total number of connections that were searched. That is your total connections which you have on LinkedIn, and how many connections were mentioned in Epstein files. So if this just searches a contact name from your LinkedIn profile, I don't think it's accurate enough, because there might be so many people with your name. And yeah, so basically a bunch of instructions, and that's the rest of the code. So what do you think about this? Would you run your connections through this specific repository? If you want to try, I'll probably put this in the chat, but do it at your own risk. I mean, we're not exposing the specific API anywhere, so there is no harm in trying it. I mean, exposing your contacts anywhere, so there is no harm in trying it essentially. But then let me know if you find any of your connections on the Epstein files. I think this would be a very fun activity for you to do in your mid of the week. So, yep, that's something really quick I wanted to share today about this specific thing. I don't know how many of you found it interesting. Just react on your platforms, on your respective platforms. So I do know that you're listening to this, and it really helps. So yeah. All right, moving on to the actual news segment of the day. Let me bring that window. Where is it? Yep, here it is. So, there have been so many incidents that took place in just like second half of yesterday and today. So, big news today from the world of AI, or as I would like to call it, the reason I can't sleep without a nightlight and a lead lined blanket. Now, usually when a tech company releases something new, we get a shiny video of a guy in a hoodie promising that an algorithm will finally solve the mystery of where your missing socks go. right? But lately, the innovation coming out of Silicon Valley sounds less like a product launch and more like a ransom note from the future, if you know what I mean. Now, an engineer at OpenAI, the people who gave us ChatGPT, so we'd never have to write a birthday card ever again, just went public to warn that advanced AI poses an existential risk to humanity. And look, I know what you're thinking. You might be like, Arti, engineers are nerds. They're afraid of sunlight and social cues. But this guy is not alone, okay? This comes just day after the safety lead at Anthropic, he's called Mrinan, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. He packed his bags and resigned because he's worried about the pace and direction of frontier AI. Think about that. People whose entire job is to build the God box are sprinting out of the building screaming, it has a taste for blood, while the CEOs are standing in the lobby going, wait, come back. We haven't even figured out how to charge $20 a month for the don't kill everyone tire yet. It's a it's a classic narrative arc, if you think about it. Two top insiders from rival labs sounding the exact same alarm within days of each other. It's like being on a plane and watching both pilots parachute out while the flight attendants over the intercom kind of says, don't worry, the Wi-Fi is still functional and we are making a great time toward the side of that mountain. So when the people building the systems tell us they are scared, should we pay attention? Or no, of course not. Why we should keep asking ChatGPT to kind of write SpongeBob fan fiction in the style of maybe Shah Rukh Khan until the lights go out for good. It's been a privilege, humanity. We've had a good run. Now, so I do get that this might sound a bit overwhelming or like even a little bit exhausting. But then, hey, if you're worried about AI taking over, that's happening too fast, I have some great news. It turns out the digital revolution has been defeated by its greatest natural predator. Guess what? The legal department. The ultra hyped AI hardware device from OpenAI and former Apple design God Johnny, the man who made us all believe that removing a headphone jack was courageous, just hit a major snag. According to his reports, this top secret gadget has been pushed back all the way to 2027. The most secretive AI gadget on earth just hit a delay. And why? Was it because the AI became self aware and refused to put it in a pocket? No. It's because of a trademark fight over the name IO and the fact that the team is so obsessed with secrecy that haven't even designed the packaging yet. Typical Silicon Valley. They're building a third core device that can supposedly sense your surroundings and understand your soul, but they are currently losing fist fight with a hearing aid startup named IO over a couple of vowels, if you ask me. It's like finding out that the Terminator can't kill the hero, whatever his name was, because his name is too similar to the local dry cleaners. So, Johnny Ive, this Apple guy, is reportedly so deep in his extreme secrecy phase that there is no marketing materials, no boxes, nothing. It's the ultimate high end tech experience, a product so minimalist it doesn't even exist. Honestly, it's genius. You can't have an existential crisis about a device you can't buy for 3 more years. OpenAI isn't just building on AI, building something innovative like an AI. They're building the world's most expensive game of I've got your nose. So don't worry about the AI apocalypse just yet. You know, at this rate, by the time the hardware actually ships, the AI will have died of boredom waiting for Johnny Ive to pick the right shade of anodized, space regret. I cannot stop myself from like laughing about it. Now, again, don't worry too much because even if the hardware is stuck in a trademark lawsuit, we with a great, kind of with a Greek vowel. being in the middle of it all. The software is still evolving. In fact, OpenAI just dropped some major updates on February 10th to make your AI feel a little more, professional. OpenAI is quietly tuning the personality of GPT 5.2 instant. The new release notes say the model now has a more measured, grounded tone. Did you notice it? Which is kind of Silicon Valley speak for. We told the robot to stop being so weird and start acting like it's trying to keep its health insurance. It's now better at advice and how to questions, and it promises to put the most important information up front. Finally, no more waiting through three paragraphs of as an AI language model before it tells me how to get red wine out of my carpet. I don't drink, mom. It's the first AI update designed specifically for people who have 3 minutes before a meeting and a deepening sense of regret. But the real star of the show is GPT. Whatever. I'm just blabbering. So the real star of the show is GPT 5.3 Codex. It's a new coding agent that doesn't kind of just autocomplete your sentences. It researches, deploys, and steers long tasks in real time. Basically, it's no longer just a calculator. It's your junior developer. And I think it's a direct Cloud Code competitor, but I'll never know. Do you know what that means? It's only a matter of time before the AI starts circling back to you, asking for alignment on the roadmap and complaining that the office oat milk isn't frontier grade. It can even detect its own cybersecurity vulnerabilities. It's the perfect employee. It works 24 by 7, it never asks for a raise, and it's significantly better at its job than I ever was. So, to recap, the people building it are fleeing in terror. The hardware won't exist until 2027, and the software is currently learning how to file its own TPS reports. We are not being replaced by a super intelligence, if you think about it. We are being replaced by an intern who never sleeps and is really good at Python. So, hey GPT, please don't take my job. I have a very expensive habit that I cannot let go of, okay? Yeah, just saying. But finally, tonight, for everyone who thinks AI is just something that happens in a glass box in San Francisco, while a billionaire tries to kind of live forever, you have to think again. Because India and the UAE are teaming up to show the world that the global south isn't just downloading the future, they are uploading it. Enter Nanda, a 13 billion parameter language model. It was developed through a partnership between India and the UAE's G42 group, and it's being trained on the Condor Galaxy AI supercomputer. Which, let's be honest, because it sounds less like a tech project and more like the place where a Bond villain keeps his secret space laser. And it's not just a model, it's a whole vibe. They're even setting up the incubation center at IIT Delhi's Abu Dhabi campus. It's all about joint research and AI entrepreneurship across the Gulf region. This isn't just India using Western models, this is India and the UAE co authoring the infrastructure itself. They're basically saying, hey, ChatGPT, keep your hallucinated recipes for avocado toast. We are building something that actually understands the difference between a monsoon and a technicality. It's perfect global south power move. While the US and Europe are busy arguing over whether AI will turn us into paperclips, India and the UAE are over here building a regional powerhouse. It's like the Avengers, but instead of capes, they have 13 billion parameters and a campus in Abu Dhabi that's cooler than any startup garage in Palo Alto. So get ready, world. The next big thing in AI might not come from a guy in a fleece vest. It might come from a supercomputer named after a galaxy born from a desert partnership that's making Silicon Valley look like it's still running on dial up. Honestly, I'm just glad somebody is building a robot that might actually know a good biryani recipe. All right. So that's it on the news front for today. I hope you learned something new from it. If not, there is more tomorrow. So today, what we're going to do is for the rest of the hour, we are going to experiment on a specific new no-code tool, as I've promised. So this is something that I've been wanting to try for a really long time and couldn't really do it. So now I'm gonna kind of try it live, maybe even fail. Like, who's gonna fail at a no-code platform? So come join me as I kind of try this amazing product that has been in the market for a while now. It's just me being lazy and not trying it out. So before I kind of pull up that specific product out there, let me quickly share the link in the chat so that you can also, kind of try it along with me if you want. I'm just going over here and getting my link, and where do I paste it? I'm going back to this place. I am just putting it here in the chat if anybody wants to try it along with me. All right, I'm putting this link in the chat. So if you want to try, it's all yours. All right, so let me quickly pull up the tool and get started. Shall we? Okay, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. Cool. So here we are with this specific piece of software. It's called Emergent, if you're not there. So Emergent is basically similar to your any other no-code tool out there. You just enter in a prompt and it gives you a whole application, a website, or anything you want. It just magically spins stuff up and then it gives you. So it's similar to Replit, Lovable, and any other no-code platform that you can think of. I saw something new called Orchid. Maybe we'll try that in another episode. But today we are going to be looking at how Emergent works. So as you can see, I don't have any projects already done. There are a couple of showcase projects mentioned here, but then I've really not tried it. And this is currently on free tire, so I only have like 10 credits left, which is for 10 monthly credits. It better be not not consume too much. Let's see how far we can build it, or like how much we can build with just 10 credits, because in comparison, I think Lovable offers 5 credits per day, and then it gets exhausted pretty soon. So maybe 10 credits a month, maybe it doesn't consume that much credits. I guess we just have to see. From the pricing point of view, we'll just look at how much it costs. Monthly, it has a pro plan. What? There's a pro plan with 750 credits per month, and you get E2 agent, 1 million context window, wow, and ultra thinking, system prompt edit. You can edit the system, like the main prompt with which the emergent agent kind of works, and the ability to build custom agents. Okay, so it's 15K per month, which is the pro version, but we also have a standard version that's like 249 rupees per month, which gives you 50 credits. 50 credits only, in comparison again with Lovable. So with Lovable, I guess you get 100 credits per month, but you're paying $25 a month, which is around more than 2,500, if I'm not wrong. Okay, let me check for 100 credits. It's only 649. So I really think if Emergent costs less than Lovable, we'll never know. We'll just test it out and see how many credits are being consumed, and then make a decision, shall we? So here in the prompting window, we can see that we can build a full stack app, a mobile app, and also a landing page, which is nice to have this distinction, because it's really difficult to build a mobile app via kind of like vibe coding, and I'm not sure if you can kind of publish this straight into Play Store and App Store, if that's that kind of a feature is existing here, I'm switching to Emergent. Anyways, it also has an option where you can connect your GitHub repository. That's again awesome. You can just push all of your code once it's done generating into GitHub, and you have an option to choose which model you want to kind of use. So it has OpenAI, Gemini, Claude, and yeah, practically these three different models and their different versions. So let us leave it at the default Claude Opus. And how do you want to build this? Public or only visible to you? But apparently, if it's only visible to you, then I guess you have to upgrade. Yeah. So in free tier, you can only build public projects. And you also have an advanced control where you can kind of select an MCP to use. So there is a memory MCP, which is like you're enabling memory for your agent. So if you're building something really big, and you want your emergent agent to kind of remember, I think you can enable this option. You can connect Superbase MCP, Notion MCP. So these are, if you have any of these MCPs that are existing and configured already. If you have like data in these, you can connect them, or you can always build a new custom MCP server. So if you do not know what an MCP is, it's practically, you have this tool. It's a Notion is a tool, right? Or your email provider, Gmail or Outlook, that's a tool, and you have these AI agents. So this MCP is kind of this bridge which kind of connects these both. So whenever this agent needs access to these email provider, let's say for example Gmail, it calls this MCP. It connects to Gmail via this MCP server and gets all the information, and it helps in performing the action that you want. So that's one of the high level overview of what an MCP server is. But if you want to know what MCP is and how to set it up, let me know. I'll make a video about it. I have a couple of articles on my Medium if you want to learn more about it, but I've not made a video yet. If you want me to kind of make a video for it, do let me know. I'm all up for it. So yeah, if you have any MCP, you can kind of connect it over here. And also you can select template, I guess. So if you want a full stack template or a base Python template, and you can budget your credits. That's amazing. Okay, so for every project, how many credits you kind of want to use? So I currently have only 10 credits. So can I type over here? Okay, I'm gonna budget it to maybe 9. We'll see how it happens. So I'm budgeting it with 9 credits, and model we've already chosen. So what do we want to build now? That's again a $1 million question. So when I was kind of demoing Google's anti-gravity, I built my portfolio based on my LinkedIn profile. So maybe should I repeat the same thing? I think we should repeat the same thing because again, it's a completely different tool, and we can kind of compare them both. It'll be easier for us to compare them both. So let me do that only. So for this, I'll be needing my LinkedIn profile. So if you remember from that episode, I downloaded my LinkedIn profile as a PDF. If you do not know how to do that, let me quickly show it to you. So I'm opening my LinkedIn profile. Let me share that tab. Yeah, so this is my LinkedIn profile, and you can do this with yours as well. So click on this and then save to PDF. So if you do that, you get a PDF file, and come back to Emergent, and then attach this specific PDF file which you've just downloaded. Yeah, it's attached now, and I'm gonna give it a prompt. So as always, as I've always like I tell you that your starter prompt, make sure that you get it from some other chatbot like Gemini or ChatGPT. So let me quickly open up Gemini, um, and write a prompt, or mention about a prompt. Hey, I want to build a portfolio for myself using my LinkedIn profile. So can you please help me with a detailed prompt that I can insert into Emergent so that it gives me a detailed portfolio with a limited credit usage. Okay, pardon me with my Indian accent, but sometimes it gets it wrong. All right, this states emergence, but we want emergent. All right. So I am, oh, it reads emergent. Right, so I'm gonna put it there and it's gonna work its magic and give me this detailed prompt, which I can use, which can kind of like directly paste it into my emergent, the window that we saw. So this is a prompt. It says build a professional, a modern personal portfolio website for me using my LinkedIn profile, and it gives it specific instruction like extract my headline, aesthetic professional color palette, and it also kind of gave me some pro tips for managing emerging credits. Oh, so deploying the app usually costs a flat fee. That's not the case in Lovable. Okay, often around 50 credits. Wow. So, if I'm on the free tier with only 10 credits, you might be able to build and preview it, but you'll likely need to upgrade or use a top up to push it live to a custom URL. Okay. Again, in Lovable, you can kind of publish it, but then, as a lovable.app, but not to your custom URL. Anyways, I guess with free tier of Emergent, you can just only view it, not publish it. All right, we've declared ourselves to try how this works. So let me quickly copy this prompt and go back to Emergent and paste it here. But I'm gonna make a quick change using my LinkedIn profile in the attached PDF instead of inserting the link. I saw, oh, create a high impact. I saw this is also a placeholder. So solopreneur, building the Arthi AI collective. Okay, let's see how this kind of builds it, shall we? I'm gonna click on this send button and we'll see how the magic works. So we'll also look at exactly what kind of thinking goes behind, and it has still not started. Okay, it has started. So it's processing. Portfolio isn't just a resume, it's a business launch platform. Wow, nice pep talk. Anyways, it's processing the next step, I guess. Let's take a look at the credits that we have. 10 credits are still intact. And I guess they have a Discord server if you want to join. Yep, you can connect your GitHub and export all the code for yourselves. The agent is still running and it's processing the next step. Okay. My quick 2 cents, when you're processing something, for the vibe coders especially, they might get bored and then they can kind of wander away into something else, maybe even some other tool. So the best approach here is for this tips is for the emergent team if you're listening. So if you can kind of play something in here, especially for the vibe coders, so that they don't get bored waiting for the agent to work. Such a privilege, right? I mean, think of us back in like before 2023, 2024. We couldn't even imagine for someone for who doesn't know how to code to write a simple C programming. If you remember, if you've done C engineering in college, the first semester you get this paper C. So I don't think we would have made it with the C paper. But look at us. Look at us, our privilege. We are asking for something to play here while the agent is working so that we don't get bored. Such privilege. Anyways, oh, okay, it's playing something. Hmm, I think the team at Emergent have heard and kind of acted on it immediately. Just kidding. Anywho, it's processing the next step, and I guess it has created 5 files. It's made a directory, and then it started creating files. If you can expand and maybe probably look at it, so it went into a directory and kind of made a couple of directories and created 5 files like this mock JavaScript, app.javascript, then there is a CSS files, and again some kind of a JavaScript. So this is pretty cool. It's all in React, and it's still building. So I think it should eventually be up in a couple of minutes. We still have our 10 credits. Maybe the credits would be, the usage would get reflected only when the whole app is built or something. I don't know. I'm just using it for the first time. And again, for anybody who missed it, for you to use this Emergent and get a 75% off, the link is in the comments. I'll probably pin it. So if you have kind of joined a little late, you might make use of that specific link and get 75% off of Emergent if you use that link. So, yep, while this app is spinning, let me quickly check if we have any questions somewhere in any of the chat, of the channels. I'm looking at. Okay, so yep, I think for those of you who joined a little bit late, yes, this is a no code tool where you can kind of build your applications with just a single prompt. So we are just repeating what we did using anti gravity. So basically, I uploaded my LinkedIn profile as a PDF and gave it this prompt, which I got from Gemini, right? And there we have it. Um, it's my portfolio. It has a headline: AI engineer, educator, creator, building the future of AI. I like it. And it has gone for this amazing blue colored. So it has compiled successfully, and it took a screenshot to review the design. Wow. And then rest of the sections are also it is taking screenshots and then checking if everything is right, which is pretty amazing. Cool, cool. Okay. Okay. Lovable, I guess it doesn't do this. Anyways, I just want to scroll down and see how this actually looks. So it also created tags for me like speaker, educator, creator, and founder. And there are a couple of links. I don't know if this works. Let's just try. Oh, it does work. It took me to my LinkedIn profile. I'm sharing just this specific window, so you could not see it. But yep, it took me to all of these links. What is it doing? It's still taking screenshots and kind of verifying everything. So let's see, take a look at the whole portfolio. So it kind of took this about me section from my LinkedIn about, and also it summarized it. I guess this is not my about section, and it gave me my education along with the years. Pretty amazing. And it took out the publications that I have listed on my LinkedIn profile, my paper publications. Wow, the experience, and it also added this current tag, which is nice, and previous past experiences. And look at this, it also takes screenshots of how it looks on your mobile. This is amazing. This is seriously amazing, guys. um, and it also gives you a summary of what it kind of built, so the different sections in your portfolio, what kind of design it used, and also the next steps, I guess. Proceed with backend development, use MongoDB storage. MongoDB storage. I This is pretty great because if it's MongoDB, that's great because you need not kind of pay for a subscription, unlike Superbase, which is subscription based. And I don't know if Lovable supports a MongoDB integration. And also it asks you if you need to make any design changes, which is again pretty amazing. The whole look and feel of it. Let's go through the website. All right. So it added a couple of skills for me, and also segregated them by categories. So core AI skills, technical skills, domain skills, and soft skills. And what kind of certifications that I have. Although this is not all of them. If you have seen my LinkedIn profile, it's like too many certifications. Not flexing on anything, just stating the fact. And the number of projects that I've done. Gen AI app builder. This is something that I kind of demoed at one of the talks that I gave, like I think 1 or 2 years ago. LLM safety research. This is one of the published articles out there. That's amazing. And there is also get in touch form. I think in order to kind of get the results populated at the back end, I think this is what we need to do. We need to kind of integrate MongoDB for storage, and there's also a list of my contact information that anybody can get in touch with me from. So this is pretty great. And how do I share it? Oh, I can share a preview of this app, but I guess it expires in 30 minutes. So, in order to get a permanent link, I would need to deploy it. But as we just saw, we wouldn't be able to deploy it because we are still in the free tier. So, once you upgrade it, you can probably kind of deploy it. So, this is pretty cool. And let's see how many credits we've consumed. What? The 10 credits are still there? Hmm. That's weird. So what did it use? How do we know like how many credits we consumed? I am not sure. Usually, in Lovable and other products, you get a kind of information here that how many credits was used to kind of develop this. But I don't know how 10 credits is still there. Maybe that's why the credits are very limited for such a simple project. It doesn't consume a lot of credits. I don't know. I seriously do not know. If you anybody have used Emergent before, and if you know, please let me know in the chat. I'd love to know what I'm missing here, or if I find out, and um, you know, I'll let all of you know, like in my summary post tomorrow. So, yep, we've built a portfolio with anti-gravity and with Emergent. So, which one did you like? The one with Emergent or the one that we built with anti-gravity? So, there are perks to both of these no-code tools. So, one is anti-gravity is free. You can literally download the app on your machine and kind of like start working on it. But the hosting and all of those after part, like after you build it, what you have to do, you have to kind of do it on your own. But unlike the other paid platforms like Emergent and Lovable and Replit, they kind of like allow you to connect your domain and do all of those hosting shits in like simple clicks. So I think it's more about what these tools can do, and also like more about what would you prefer, convenience over something that's affordability. So I guess it's all about your preference and what you would like the tool to kind of do. But my quick suggestion is like if you are someone who's like starting off in the field of AI, and if you want to learn quickly as to how you can build such tools, I think my advice would be to go for any of these free tiers, Emergent or Lovable or Replit, and kind of like start building. It can be even a preview of it. You will not deploy it anyway. Just uh, build something, so you really get that confidence that you can achieve something, and you can kind of make something out of nothing. So get that feeling. And then finally, when you're comfortable with all of these no code tools, settle on anti-gravity, because that doesn't have a subscription. That is like totally free. You can just Google anti-gravity by Google, and the first link is usually anti-gravity. You can download it on your laptop and get started like today. So I guess what we saw today, a quick wrap up. There are a couple of high impactful news that we saw, where there is a whistleblower who is within OpenAI, who mentioned that AI might cause existential crisis for human beings. And then just a few days ago, Anthropic, there was an inside information that there was this person who kind of mentioned that Anthropic, there is so much thing is kind of, do you hear that? I'm so sorry if you're hearing that. If you're not, you're blessed, because okay, this is not appropriate for the AI radio show, but you are my audience for the AI radio show. I think I can share this with you. So we live kind of in a location where it is like closer to a temple, a mosque, and a church. Okay, so since I'll go like in order. Essentially temples, so any kind of festival you have, it can be any season, not just festival like margari or Thai masam, or any festival month out there, they start blasting this loud music. Okay, that's with the temples. And this, at least, it occurs seasonally, not like every day. And then there is this church. So every 1 hour, like we don't have wall clocks at home, they kind of blast this huge alarms saying that 1 hour is gone, 2 hours is gone. So I mean, bro, I have a wall clock at home, I have my phone, I have my laptop, I have everything in front of me. You need not remind me that 1 hour has gone. So that's with the temples and with the church. And don't even get me started with the mosque, okay? Because I work from home. All right, I stay at home all day. Starting, I wake up at around 5, and then end my day at around 10:30, such and such. But throughout this whole day, I remain at home, and 5 times a day, there's this huge noise that's coming out from this mosque as well. So I understand that they're praying. I respect all these three places, like the temple, the mosque, and the church. But why can't you do it with your headphones on? If I want to listen to music, I do it with my headphones on. I don't disturb my neighbors, so I don't even disturb my husband. But why do you have to blast music so loudly? I'm talking to all of those people who blast music, in temples, churches, and mosques. Anyways, the noise that you just heard, I think it's prayer time for, I think this is the final prayer for today. I know this because, I've been listening to it every day. Anyways, as we were wrapping up, we just saw a couple of mind blowing news for today, and also we saw how the specific product called Emergent works. So if you want to try it and get 75% off on your subscription, which is a huge thing because Emergent subscription itself is like pretty low compared to other tools out there. It's only around what, 249 rupees per month. So yeah, you can make use of that link and let me know how it goes. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow with yet another episode of brand new the AI radio show with me, your host Arthi. Until then, I'll see you. Yes. Good night.
That's the signal for today. We're powering down slow. You've been too